Alright, Sony ponies and Xbox, y'all better take control because right now everybody's talking trash. We're gonna be checking out this video because apparently Phil Spencer went on record and Dasica said that he's gonna be quitting Xbox. We're gonna hear the arguments, we're gonna hear the 500 IQ moves that my boy Bada make and say in the video. Let's go for 5 likes on the video. Get your pitch and forks, get your overclock keyboards ready, and guys, it is time we go down.
What's up, friends? It's ENDYMION, and before I even begin this video, I can already hear the keyboards clicking and the phones tapping, so let me clear something up before we move forward. No.
Yeah! He knows toxic gamers are gonna be everywhere. He knows about the Xbox. He knows about the Sony ponies. My guy knows. This
video is not some gotcha against Xbox or anything like that.
Wrong.
In fact, I will actually explain how if Xbox leaves the gaming space entirely, it'll be bad for gaming. I also want to explain how in a lot of ways Xbox is responsible for massive successes like PlayStation. You'll see what I mean as we continue along. So this is not a
Sony ponies, I want your take on this one. Is Xbox the reason why PlayStation succeeded or is succeeding, or maybe not succeeding because the Xbox would say that PlayStation is not succeeding? I want to know your thoughts, man.
console war video. Anyway, let's as we continue along. So this is not a console war video. Anyway, let's get going. If you have even a small interest in gaming news, you probably heard about the massive Xbox leak that happened, where everything Microsoft plans on doing for the next 5 or so years got leaked. This all happened because of Microsoft wanting to buy Activision Blizzard, and these files got leaked during all of this, and now here we are. So we know—
Bro, this is absolutely insane to me that they're buying so many different studios, right? They recently bought Activision for $70 billion, and these suckers are thinking about quitting in 4 years' time. Bro, like, who does that? Why even bother buying Activision to begin with? What's gonna happen to Activision? Phil Spencer, literally, if he quits in 4 years and if he wants to, and quite frankly, I think that's not gonna happen though. I think he's bluffing. I think he's just playing with that puppy face, with that sad puppy face, right? He's pulling the victim card right now, like, let us buy everybody. We're not strong, we're not independent. I think that's what's happening. I think these are like 500 IQ chess moves that he's trying to play. But deadass though, if he really means what he says, because guys, this is not an opinion, this is not speculation. Some suckers are not believing what he said, but he deadass said that in 2027 he will end Xbox if they do not meet expectations. I get it. If it's an indie company, man, I get it. Money can be an issue though. Microsoft, they got trillions and trillions of dollars. They have so much money. Why y'all suckers are gonna abandon Xbox though? Like, give at least 10 years. Y'all suckers just bought Activision. At least wait 10 years though. Not like 4 years. Like, damn, son.
Things like Oblivion and Fallout 3 are getting remasters, somehow Ghostwire Tokyo is getting a sequel, and there's a new Doom game called Year Zero. Weirdly though, in these documents, nothing was said about the future of Halo, which is arguably Xbox's biggest franchise.
Damn.
Either what's happening—
Yeah, Halo is talk, bro. They did Halo so dirty, man. Like, damn, bro.
With Halo didn't leak, or they genuinely have nothing planned for the next 5 years.
Bruh.
I don't know, and I can't tell you which of these probabilities—
Yeah, maybe the leaks that happen, it's not like the entire picture, though. It's kind of like that roadmap of what they deem more important. Maybe they don't deem Halo as important as they used to, right? But I do believe that Halo sequel is gonna happen eventually. Maybe not in the 5 years, or maybe it's gonna happen, but it's not on their priority list, or at least not on the list that got leaked out. But it's still kind of concerning because I feel like that their major games were on it, including Elder Scrolls 6, though.
Are real, since we just simply don't know. However, the part of this leak that both inspired this video and worried me was this particular segment where Phil Spencer said if Xbox Game Pass doesn't grow enough by 2027, that Microsoft will likely just throw in the towel and
yeah, man, this news is literally everywhere. Suckers don't want to believe it. Suckers don't want to believe it. That sucker deadass said that. And I'm seeing so many people say that, yo, fire Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer must go. Everybody, we demand Phil Spencer should leave. I mean, damn, Phil did so many good things, though. So many bad things as well. Just like Jim Ryan from PlayStation as well, because I know suckers are gonna bring up, yo, what about the Sony ponies? What about the Xbox? The Xbox Sony ponies always brings that up. Nobody wanna be objective no more, right? But this is absolutely why. Y'all suckers just bought Activision. We just heard that UK CMA approved the deal though. Y'all suckers gonna be getting Activision. Y'all suckers gonna be getting Call of Duty. Why do you need to quit? Even Adam22 Wives ain't wanna quit that BBC situation though. Bruh. She loves different flavors. Why don't you like different flavors, Phil? What's the matter with you, Phil? Why don't you like it, Phil? Come on, Phil. Like 10 years, damn it. 10 years. Like, at least make it 10, bro. Make it 10, bro.
Exit gaming altogether. That statement and possible reality is knocking futs to wrap my head around, dear viewer, because without a healthy Xbox ecosystem, I know the PlayStation fans would be happy to hear that, since in a way they could officially claim they won the annoying console war that's been brewing for ages now.
Yo, but Sony ponies, don't laugh. Don't laugh, Sony ponies, don't laugh, man, because one day we might also hear that Jim Ryan is selling the PlayStation, that Jim Ryan is also quitting. I mean, quitting would be, I mean, kind of good, I guess, right? I mean, Sean Layden era of PlayStation was absolutely amazing, though. Jim Ryan, Crying Ryan, that they named that has been given to him by the Xbox is actually a fact, though. It's actually a fact, though, you know what I'm saying? We agree! The Sony ponies agree with the with the Xbox. I mean, listen, whatever, what's happening to gaming right now, bro? What, collectively, guys, let's come together as one. When you really think about it, right? They're making more money than God. PlayStation, Xbox combined, though. Back in my days, online was free. At least on the PlayStation, right? So they're making money with subscriptions. PlayStation increased the price. Xbox increased the price of Game Pass just a little bit. PlayStation increased the price of PlayStation Plus. Xbox got Game Pass. Games prices have increased from $60 to $70. Every game is infested with microtransactions, even battle passes, right? In live service games, games are coming out incomplete, unfinished at launch, but suckers are still buying. Games are making a record high. Games and video games as a whole is a bigger industry than movies. So what's the deal though? They're making more money than God. Now I get it that Game Pass might not be profitable, or it's not making that money or the amount of money they want to, or it's not hitting the targets. I get that. I totally get that. But Phil, you put yourself, or you put Game Pass in that situation though. You know what I mean?
But on the flip side of things, this possible reality could be really, really bad for gaming as a whole too. Phil Spencer himself said, and I quote, "I can safely say that if we do not make more progress than this off console, we would exit the gaming business. And if this were the outcome, I don't believe we'd still be in the business. A majority of our customers are found off of our own hardware. I would hope by earlier than 2030. So when you ask me if I agree..."
Bro, like, listen, if you're gonna put Starfield and your Xbox games on PC, then obviously, right? Then obviously, listen, I'm gonna keep $150. If some of you guys got PlayStation and good PC, there's absolutely zero need to own Xbox. Obviously, you got good PC, you got a console. I'm a console peasant. I got me a PlayStation 5. I am also blessed enough to have RTX 3090 on my PC, RTX 3080 on my laptop. If I want to play any Xbox game, I also do not need to buy any Xbox game. I can simply get Game Pass. Game Pass, brilliant service for gaming though. Brilliant service for gamers. I just gotta pay $20 a month. I can try Starfield out for a month. If I don't like it, cancel subscription. That's it. Instead of spending like $100 Canadian, right? I'm in Canada, right? So $100 Canadian, I can just put in like 25, 20 bucks. I'm not sure how much it is in Canadian dollars, right? Put that, try out the game for a month, try out hundreds or thousands of other games, and that's pretty much it. I do not need to spend money. So obviously, if you're gonna offer that, people are gonna go that route. It's not the people's fault, it's y'all suckers' fault. I do agree Game Pass is a brilliant model, but if you're gonna put it on PC, then suckers don't have the need. Suckers don't need to buy Xbox. Simple as that, simple as that.
Agreed with this chart that the light green and blue, depending on what colors you see there, would have to be much larger, much earlier. I would say by 26, 27 that we should be in that position, or we would have to make a different decision with the business, end quote. So this hypothetical endgame scenario Microsoft is preparing for would result in one of the biggest players in gaming leaving entirely. So what would that look like? And is that good for modern gaming? In my opinion, not exactly.
Lock yourselves in the basement. Phil Spencer is here.
See, it's common sense when it comes to any industry that competition is vital to the growth and innovation of anything. Imagine if instead of having many different cars available from different manufacturers, there was only one or two of them. The innovation of the automobile industry would stagnate and prices could be controlled with such a grip that as customers,
because they know you don't have any other option, right? You only got two options. Either you're gonna buy A or you're gonna buy B. Or if there's no B, if B decides, Xbox decides, B decides to quit, only A remains, PlayStation remains. So if you're a console peasant like me, you're gonna buy PlayStation only, simple as that. And PlayStation might charge you extra. They might make console, instead of like 400 or 500 bucks, they might make it 600, 700, because they know you have no other way to go. Maybe you're gonna buy PC, but they know console has a market. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If you have limited options, price is gonna go up. They know you cannot go anywhere, or you do not have any more options available. So where else you gonna go? You're gonna come to me. You're gonna come to us. That's what it is, man.
You're
That's what
screwed
it's all about.
no matter what you do. But since, of course, there's many car manufacturers out there, it means they need to compete for your money. With video games, it's the same thing, and I would argue that Microsoft's existence is why PlayStation is so successful. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Xbox saved PlayStation. Let me explain. In the early years of my life, we had stuff like the Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, and the original PlayStation. In the early 2000s, you could argue the three core spaces were Nintendo, Sony, and PC gaming in general being its own thing. Because of this, the only competition really for Sony was Nintendo. And in a lot of ways, when the PlayStation 2...
Nintendo is in their own lane right now. Nintendo don't give a damn, but here's the thing though. The leak showed that Phil Spencer wanted to buy Nintendo. Like, bruh. Like, Sega's over, like, damn. Like, Phil, okay, let Phil buy even Sony, bro. Like, Phil, if you're listening, bro, buy Sony, bro. Jim Ryan, if you're listening, bro, please, like, come on, man. Brother needs help. Brother needs help. He needs to buy everything, everybody. Let him buy your company. Let Phil buy Sony. Honestly, bro, like, let Phil buy Sony. Let Phil buy Ubisoft. Let Phil buy Nintendo. Who cares? Like, let him buy everything. Let him buy everything, man. Let him buy everything.
Launched in 2000, even Nintendo wasn't really competition for it, since the PS2 was much more powerful than anything Nintendo had at the time. And you could argue Sony had an absolute stranglehold on gaming as well. A year later, Microsoft would enter the space with the original Xbox, and that would change everything. Because now the PS2 had actual competition that could match its power and had unique experiences like Halo.
The PS3 and 360 days were amazing though. Best era ever, hands down, hands down.
Combat Evolved, for example.
PS4 and Xbox One was good times as well, but nothing like PS3 and 360.
These titans would clash, and eventually we'd enter the PS3 and 360 era. Arguably, for most of this era, which I consider to be one of the most important in gaming in general, Xbox was slapping PS3 around like a redheaded stepchild. This was mostly because the PS3 was hard to develop for unless it was a first-party release. Its infrastructure was not third-party developer friendly, which is why many third-party releases either came out late on PS3 over 360.
Damn. And right now, PlayStation 5, what we're hearing is like best to develop on. So they learned their lesson with it. I'm not sure about PS4 though. Was PS4 easy to develop games on, at least like in the sense of third-party games?
Or they ran and chugged because these third-party games were difficult to design to mesh well with PS3's sophisticated...
Bro, this, I mean, crazy chart right here, guys. Heavy Rain, banger. Battlefield Bad Company 2, banger. That was my very first FPS games, though. Very first. Is there Black Ops? Banger. Battlefield 4, banger. Most Wanted, Need for Speed, banger. Tomb Raider, banger. Last of Us, where's the last one? Last of Us, banger. Bro, Assassin's Creed, banger. There's so many bangers out here, bro.
And really weird hardware. This is also why, if you own a PS4 or PS5 and wonder why Sony hasn't been able to get their PS3 era games to be downloadable but only streaming as of now anyway, it's because of the unique and very rigid software that PS3 games had to adhere to. On the flip side, you had the 360, an amazing little device that I loved playing on. By the way, I had both the 360 and PS3. Anyway, the 360, while it's red ringed so often you likely knew multiple people who dealt with that.
Oh my god, bruh, we used to hear so much trash about the red ring of death. I remember like Black Ops 2 lobbies were lit, man. They were lit. Even on the 360, online forums, there used to be a thing back in the days, and good times, man. I remember them vividly. Those were really, really crazy times, man.
The reality was that the 360 was very easy to develop for. It also ushered in the indie game scene with Xbox Arcade, so in a lot of ways the 360 was a pioneer for its time. And I would argue it's one of the most important consoles of all time. When it came to the PS4 and Xbox One era, however, it's like Sony and Microsoft.
Xbox One kind of flop with that. Let's be real, right? Like with that TV, always online, cannot play used games with the DRM. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Xbox One around that. Those suckers, those twats, they just, I don't know, like they were doing helicopters with the release that they forgot to work on the problems, or in fact, like not even the problems. There was never even any problem to begin with. They just needed to make a new hardware, better hardware, make sure graphics are good, games are bigger, games are better, this and that, right? Simple as that. But they created problems that shouldn't be problems. Come on, man.
Microsoft swapped places, with the PS4 in a lot of ways mimicking what the 360 was. It was more powerful than the 360, obviously, since it was next-gen at the time, but a lot of what made the PS4 great was because it was basically like the 360. Sony completely revamped how games could be made on the PS4 and made it closer to a PC than the very rigid and archaic design of the PS3. Whereas Microsoft went the opposite way and turned the Xbox One into this weird home.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some formal connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
These suckers were so wilding though. These suckers were wilding out when they revealed that if you do not like Xbox One, you have Xbox 360. Who says that? Who says that? Then obviously, bro, PS3 and 360. I could be wrong, but like PS3 and 360 in sales-wise, they were neck to neck though. Maybe Xbox 360 sold a little tiny bit more than PlayStation, or maybe PlayStation 3 sold a little tiny bit more, but I remember at one point they were neck to neck, very, very close. These were two juggernauts though. With Xbox One and PS4, the ratio was more than 2-to-1 though. PlayStation easily surpassed 100+ million, whereas Xbox couldn't even surpass, I believe, 60 million. Maybe now it done more than 60 million, Xbox One. Sales wise, maybe yes, maybe not, but this is one of the reason why it could not compete with PlayStation 4
home TV hybrid device. This moment was what costed Microsoft the console war, if you want to call it that. Even things like having monthly games being available via subscriptions was originally an Xbox Live thing. And Sony copied Xbox and made PlayStation Plus, and that's how that all came to exist.
And PlayStation Plus, right now, they copied the Game Pass even, so that's... and that's not that good. I mean, they're not putting their first-party titles day one on PlayStation Plus, and I get that. Right now, I mean, listen, man, the proof is in front of us, right? Game Pass is a brilliant, amazing deal for gamers, but Phil Spencer knows, and that's like saying that 4 years from now they go end Xbox, because if it doesn't sell well, if it doesn't succeed, we have to end. So I mean, Jim knows, like, yeah, he's not gonna put PlayStation games day one on it because they just cannot afford it, right?
Sony also changed their business model too, since on PS3 anyway, multiplayer was largely free. But it was also very limited, since PS3's communication efforts were pretty damn terrible, especially...
Make free online. I don't care if a PlayStation was hacked for a solid month. I remember that time. Black Ops 1 Ascension Zombies DLC came out, and around that, it was like 2011 or early 2012 or something like that. I remember PlayStation, no, it was early 2011. Yeah, that's when First Strike DLC pack came out for Black Ops 1. Man, those were good times, man. Those were good times for Call of Duty, bruh. Good times to be a gamer. And I remember PlayStation 3 was hacked for a solid month. I believe Lizard Squad hacked it, right? Man, that was crazy timeline, man. Because after a month when PlayStation came back, those suckers offered free games. I believe they even offered like vouchers, like $10 PlayStation or $20 PlayStation credit or something like that. I know minimal amount of money, like bruh, I get it. But they also did offer some free games alongside it though. So good times, man. I really hope something like that happens once again, okay? I want free
when you
games. I want
compare
free
it to
games.
Xbox Live Party Chat. And since Microsoft charged players to play online, now suddenly on PS4 and onward, PlayStation did the same thing even though it was free before on PS3 and below. Sony also copied Xbox's Party Chat and made their online much better too. And when you look at more recently, Xbox brought about Game Pass, and Sony yet again basically copied what they were doing and changed PlayStation.
They copied halfway through though, but the moral of the story here is that PlayStation needs Xbox, Xbox needs PlayStation, and Xbox should not give up on Xbox just yet. Wait 10 years though. But guys, this literally just happened. Sony ponies and Xbox are not stopping. It's a banger, y'all. Click on this video on the screen, and I will see you right there. Check it out, folks.